Hi, it's me, Jazzy. I'm back with another tech-related video, and today it's a kind of a mailbag sort of situation. Although we had to go and pick this lot up ourselves, it didn't arrive here, so not really a mailbag, more a collection bag, I guess, something like that. Basically, I bought a job lot of really ancient crumbling meters off of eBay for ridiculous money, just over £20 I think it was, and probably cost us more in mileage to go and pick them up. But anyway, I've got this whole collection of really interesting old meters. Some of them are going to be no good, for parts only. Some of them are definitely worth restoring, I think. Either way, it's going to be interesting finding out. Now, we picked them up in two huge boxes, so let's get these both over on the bench and have a look what on earth I've got this time. All right, box one of two. It's pretty heavy. Now, they're not sealed because we had to go and pick these up, but they have done a nice job of bubble wrapping. What is this? LSM Co Limited. What? I don't think this was in the picture, was it? Hammond and Chapman's Limited, Walthamstow, Prodigy Test Lamp. I don't think this was in the... I don't remember seeing this. Maybe they've added some extra stuff in for us. Wow, look at these probes. That's pretty vintage. I'm guessing there's a lamp in there, and I'm guessing this must come apart in some way. I'm not overly familiar. I don't want to cause it any damage. Doesn't seem to easily come apart. Further investigation needed. That looks pretty old. I think that's an added bonus. I don't think that was even in the listing. You never know what you're going to get, do you? There's a whole load of bubble wrap, and there's... let's get this bubble wrap out of it. Oh, I see. Okay. So it's just a whole bunch of really old meters that are going to need a bit of love. They need a bit of cleaning and possibly a bit of maintenance. These are the sort of things we can open up and take a look at and see what makes it tick. So we've got a little caution notice there inside the lid. Okay, interesting. There's a slight rattle to that, so that's... I think some of these are going to need a little bit of tinkering with. I already have way too many things that need tinkering with, but sometimes stuff comes up and it's just so cheap. This one's really heavy. Wow, these are going to need a bit of tidying up, aren't they? What we got here then? Okay, not much of a clue there. We've got a hinge and a weird little thing. Oh, okay, it's a voltmeter. All right. For use horizontally, so a bit like an Avo. A little bit damaged there. Alright, this is an Elliott. It looks like it's had suffered a bit of corrosion in there, unfortunately, this one. And this one the movement seems alright. Now, the seller did say that some of these meters have got stuck movements. So, we're going to have no shortage of projects, aren't we? Oh, we got set 0. This came up literally just after the bunch of lab standards that I bought that we saw in that recent video. I'm a sucker for a job lot of stuff when it's cheap. Right. This is old because look at the bulging plug on there. That is ancient, and it's got no top on it anyway. Wow, I haven't seen one of those for a little while. Look at this. Foster Transformers Limited. London SW19. This is an earth impedance test set. Alright. Well, it all looks alright inside. The box looks a bit rough, but okay. Well, the thing is, I mean, that feels quite a nice movement. The thing is, buying this stuff so cheaply, even if I just use it for parts, But some of these are nice enough that they would make a nice little display. And we can try and get them working, some of these. No reason why not. That's rather nice. Okay, it definitely needs a bit of a replacement on that lead. What's this one then? Two terminals on the top there. It's pretty heavy. Any other clues? No, it's got feet there and feet there, so I guess it's designed to be used on its side or sitting flat. Okay, upside down, of course. Right, Evershed and Vignals. This one is not in good health because the needle's down there somewhere. Yeah. Alright, registered trademark Mega, needing a little bit of love, but these are good rainy day projects, aren't they? We're not going to be short of projects for a while. Okay, box 2 of 2. What do we have in this one? More rough looking wooden boxes. I don't normally buy stuff that's this damaged, but even if it yields some parts, this is really heavy. What is this? C8 EL9. Looks like C8V EL9. It's really quite heavy, this one. Oh, it slides. Got you. Oh, hey, okay, this is quite interesting. Western Electrical Instrument Co., Newark, New Jersey, USA. Alright, I like this. Wow, that's a bit stiff. That's cool though. Gotta love that, haven't you? Okay, external shunt. 15.3. 500, 150. This is plus. Okay. Volts or amps. This is a Western DC volt ammeter. Okay. I mean, it could be cleaned up and sorted out. Like that though. That's cool. But the boxes on these are just really quite bad, aren't they? I lost a bit of its lamination there. Okay. I can't really query the price. I'm happy I got value for money. In terms of weight, these are a lot light. Another little thing here. What have we got on this? It's got a set 0 like that other one we looked at before. I wonder if it's another similar kind of deal. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it's another Elliott. Oh, this has got some additional stuff in here. Yeah, this looks like one with a stuck movement. Nothing doing there. This is an Elliott direct current milliammeter. It's got some information here, which is quite nice. I like stuff like this. Portable standard milliammeter type N moving coil. This instrument is calibrated in international milliamperes. And it's got some specs down here. And look at the date though. 22nd of Sept 1937. That's a very long time ago, and is a good indication of why it's in such poor condition. They're actually, the meters inside are not so bad, it's the cases. Do I regret my purchase? Well, I often do. It's all part of the journey. Does look like I'm missing something there. Okay. Another similar box, not calibrated. Not surprised. Doesn't look like it's calibrated. And this is another Elliott. Oh, it's a bit cracked there, unfortunately. But even earlier, look, 28th of May 1923. Wow, look at that. And this is a direct current ammeter. Yeah, another one with a stuck. Oh, we can have them apart and ungum them, and we can have fun having a look what's inside. This one needs a shunt. Oh, it's quite fortunate that I got a current shunt on the lab standards lot. So it's clearly a pretty varied collection then. Some of them are in better condition than others. So what I can see, I've got 3 different Elliott meters there. This is the oldest one, 1923, but it's also in pretty poor condition. We've got the cracked glass there. The meter movement is stuck. The actual gauge is showing a few signs of aging there. This one a little newer, 1937. Seems in reasonable condition. This is all good. All of the cases need some love. They're all pretty bad. That one's terrible. This looks like a slightly newer Elliott meter. So we will do some tear downs in a future episode where we'll have a look inside and we can note the differences between these three Elliott meters and what we can do to try and get them working. The cases, well, I'm not really a woodworking kind of person. It's a bit beyond my capabilities, unfortunately, but least we can do is give them a bit of a clean and get some of that grime off them. I'd say out of what we got, these three Elliots, definitely worth looking at. Yeah, quite interesting to see the Elliott progression of handles through the years there. Now, how funny that they've all got a white dot in the same place. Now, what does that signify? These are the ones that I find the most interesting. I love this Foster earth impedance test set. It's in lovely condition inside. It's just the box is a little bit scruffy, but actually this is not one of the worst ones at all. It's nice that you've got the instructions inside, and I believe that's a thermometer there. I do notice that screw's a bit proud, so I wonder if this has been opened before. Everything on it seems okay. It's just an interesting antiquity. It's a bit older than the stuff that I normally work on and collect. And then we've got this one here, which is Western Electrical Instrument Co., Newark, New Jersey, USA. So you can see that this was patented. The last date on there, 1901. This is model 163, number 88. But it's clearly very old. I find this one very interesting because of the big switch arrangement here, which is very, very stiff and is reminiscent of the sort of thing you would use to bring Frankenstein's monster to life, I think. No monsters here, just vintage test equipment. The meter movement is not stuck on this one, so it seems like it's a candidate for restoration. So these are the rest of the lot, which are in less good condition. We've got this Evershed and Vignall's voltmeter here. As you can see, the needle is down here somewhere. I'm not too sure what's happening with that. The actual face of the gauge doesn't look too bad, but it's a bit of a dent there. It doesn't seem to rattle. It's an okay meter. Again, that's got a white dot. So these came from some collection, or they're an auction or something. This one, got quite a rattle. I might be tempted to look inside that, I think, and see what's going on with that. And this old test lamp, I don't know if I can do anything with that or not. Let me know your thoughts, or if you've seen one like this before. Not entirely sure how you would get it apart. It's obviously got bulbs or something inside there, hasn't it? Can't see any obvious way of getting it apart. It doesn't seem to just pull apart, and I don't want to cause it too much distress. Right, I reckon since this one's got a bit of a rattle, I'm tempted to have a look inside this one. I'll gradually work my way through these meters, and I'll do a little teardown video of each one as I go, so you can see what's inside them. I suspect some of them are going to be quite fascinating to look at inside. Not got any date code or anything. Not that I can see, but then I missed the blatantly obvious date code, didn't I, on the Lux meter that I did. One of my eagle-eyed viewers spotted that, and I was looking right at it throughout the whole episode. Right, what we're going to find inside here. You never know with these old things, do you? Okay, comes out fairly easily. No. Oh, that's what was rattling. There's two screws in the bottom there. I wonder what they're out of then. The actual case looks in pretty good condition inside. This is actually not one of the worst ones at all. One little crack there, but the case itself is not bad and would probably clean up reasonably well. Now, as for the meter, I wonder where those two little screws came from, because it doesn't seem to be... Oh yeah, There you go. Obviously one was there. There's a screw in there. No screw in there. Right. Now, surely they can't have just fallen out. I wonder if somebody's been in here before. But there's something... Can you hear that? Yeah. Oh, look, there's something inside. There's something in there. Well, we're going to find out. It's all part of the fun, isn't it? I was just intrigued just enough with this one to have a little looky. Here we go. That is just fixed to that plate there. Well, while that's off, let's give it a bit of a clean, hey? Years of grime on this. Right, so what we need to do is we need to somehow get in there. This appears to be all one piece. So I think we're going to have to get that little screw out the back there, because there's definitely something rattling around inside the movement. Yeah, that's definitely the same as those other two screws, so that's where they've come from. So does that mean I can now get this? Yes, I can. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Hey, there's a lot of bits in this. Right, very carefully. Yeah, the face of the meter itself seems to be in pretty good condition, I'd say. So this is what was rattling around. It's maybe part of the bezel, is it? Because look, there's another piece inside there rattling around. Yeah. Oh, now where's that come from then? I can't see anything in there. It's a good opportunity to give this a good clean up though. There's your adjustment for your meter there, for your zero adjustment. Good old Bakelite. There doesn't seem to be anything in there, so I wonder where have these pieces come from? That's a mystery. They've clearly broken off of... There. They've broken off of there. There's another piece there. So is that where... Oh, that would explain why the screws are out. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. It's where the screws go in. I wonder if somebody's over-tightened that screw at some point and it's just broken the Bakelite, because this stuff's pretty brittle after a number of years. I suspect that if I just put the one working screw back in, I suspect that would be enough for my use. I'm going to be pretty gentle with it, but that's what was rattling around causing that noise. That and the two screws in the back of the case solves that mystery. Why is it I suspect that some of the other meters in the collection are not going to be that easy? I've got to be very careful of that meter adjustment, that I don't bend that. I think that's definitely a good amount better than it was. Let's see if we can get this back in one piece. It looks better already. Right, so we've got 3 here to go back in. They're quite chunky to work on, these old meters, and you don't have hundreds of screws. The synthesized signal generator, that had a ridiculous amount of screws in it. I've got to take that apart again to do the caps. Well, it looks a lot better than it did. Whether it works, well, that's another matter, isn't it? We'll give it a quick try. Why not? Seeing as we've gone to the trouble of looking inside and giving it a good clean. I mean, there could potentially be something that I could do to fix those areas where the Bakelite is damaged. Now, if there's any viewers watching that have more experience than me with finishing wood surfaces, what would you recommend on this? Polish? Furniture polish? Like Mr. Sheen type of thing? Or wax? Let me know in the comments what's your preferred method. I am not a woodworker by any means. Yeah, I don't really have the know-how, but not even that. I don't really have the facilities or tools or a space where I can make a whole load of mess to do woodworking. It's not really my area of expertise. I will stick to electronics because I know where I'm at with that. But at least that's cleaner than it was. All right, let's pop this back in. I presume it would have had some probes or some leads or something in here at some point. There we go. Nice. Now, I have 2 spare screws. I need to put those in a little bag somewhere so I don't lose them. In case I find some method, there may be some bright spark out there that knows. I mean, I guess epoxy or something could be used. I guess it's whether I think it's going to be necessary. I mean, all these meters I've just bought to enjoy really and mess about with, and it's nice to just explore stuff. I'm a tinkerer. I do repairs, but I also sometimes just like to take stuff apart and see what makes it work and can I make it work any better. There's a certain satisfaction when you take something. So like this meter here, it's arrived in pretty poor condition. It was dirty, stuff rattling around inside it. We've taken it apart, cleaned it all up, removed all the broken bits, and it looks a lot better for it. There is a certain amount of satisfaction in that, I think. It's a nice change of pace sometimes to do something like this rather than working on something really complicated, but then the complicated stuff is also fun. There we go. That's not bad, is it? Now, do we reckon it can measure any voltage? Well, there's only one way to find out. Good old Farnell power supply. Really happy with my Farnell. I never did get around to replacing those other switches, but you know what? It works. That's all that matters for me. Let's go 3 volts. Let me try it on the 5 volt range first of all, which is the bottom of the gauge. There we go. Switch on. 3 volts. Oh yeah, look at that. That's not too shabby, is it? I mean, how old is this meter? It's obviously had a tough life. Bang on, 3 volts. All right, let's go 4 volts. Yeah, 5. Very nice, very nice. Try 25 volt range then. Let's go 10 volts. On. So don't forget we're on the 25 volt range. So although it's indicating 100 volts, that is actually 10. Go 15. There you go. 20. 25. Very nice. Okay, let's try the 250 volt range. So we can give it 30, and that's about as far as I can go. There you go. Nice. Happy with that. That's one fixed. Now, how many more to go? I think that'll do us for today, and we'll do some teardowns in future episodes where we can have a look at the other meters and see if we can do a similar thing and get them working. This one, fantastic. So there you go. What do you reckon? Did I get value for money there? I think this Foster earth impedance test set is rather lovely. Really intrigued by these really old Elliott meters. This one from 1923 and the other one from the 1930s. I think they're really fascinating, and definitely we need to have a closer look at some of these and have a delve inside, which we'll do in a future episode. So there we go. Well, if I can curb my bargain hunting, I'll be back with some slightly more modern items on the next episode. Hope you've enjoyed taking a look at these vintage meters, though some of these are probably the vintagest meters that I've looked at so far. As always, big thanks to everyone for watching and subscribing. If you'd like to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, it's always massively appreciated and helps to support the channel. I'll be back soon with some more tech related videos, but in the meantime, take care and I'll see you on the next one.